Okay, so let's get right into it. Today, we're going to break down a pretty fascinating AI tool that's trying to solve a problem that, let's be honest, every single one of us has faced. I'm talking about that frustrating wall between video, audio, and text. We're taking a close look at a site called videomp3word.com.
But first, let's really set the stage here with something I call the media silo problem. You know what I mean, right? It's that feeling of having your best content totally trapped in the format you first created it in.
I mean, think about it. Have you ever been there? You're a journalist on a tight deadline, and you need to pull a quote from an interview. Or maybe you're a student trying to get notes from a 2-hour lecture. Or you're a creator who wants to turn that awesome video you made into a blog post. Getting that text can be a real pain.
And what about flipping it around? You've written this amazing article, but you know you could reach a whole new audience. People on their commute, at the gym, if you just had an audio version. Well, turning that text into natural-sounding audio, that's not always so simple.
So this is the heart of the problem. Video, audio, and text, they're the big three of content, but they just don't like to talk to each other. They're stuck in these separate, annoying silos, and trying to connect them usually means juggling a bunch of different apps and, frankly, wasting a ton of time.
And that's where this new generation of AI platforms comes into the picture. They're pitching themselves as the central hub, the one place that can finally break down those walls. So let's see how this one does it.
Okay, so this is the key. It's right here in their own description. They call themselves a 360-degree AI converter. And that 360-degree part is so important. The whole point isn't just to do a one-way conversion, like video to audio. No, the goal is to let you move in any direction between all these different formats. So, how does this 360-degree engine actually pull it off? Let's break down its main features into 3 pretty simple steps. All right, step 1 is all about deconstruction. Basically, just yanking the text out of your media files. You can do this with their Video to Word tool, which uses AI to transcribe what's being said, or the more traditional MP3 to Word for audio-only files. Either way, getting your content into text is the starting point for everything else. Now, once you have that text, step 2 is where it gets really fun: reconstruction. The platform can take your script and turn it into what they call lifelike synthetic speech with the Word to MP3 tool. Or, get this, it can even generate a whole new video just from your text. I mean, the potential to repurpose your content here is just massive. And finally, step 3 is what they call remediation, which is really just a fancy word for changing one media format directly into another. Think of the simple, straightforward stuff like ripping a crystal-clear audio track from a video file or creating one of those cool visualizers for your podcast so you can post it on YouTube.
But here's the thing. When you start digging around their website, you quickly realize they're not just building a tool. They're trying to build a whole ecosystem, a whole universe around their product.
Just look at this. The core conversion tools are just one slice of the pie. They're also building out a blog, an academy with strategic articles, a news section for updates, and even a gallery to show off what people are making. This tells me they don't just want you to use the tool and leave. They want you to become part of a community.
And you've got to listen to this quote from one of their blog posts. How beautiful is this? They're talking about Mumbai, New York, Kerala. They're not just selling features to techies. They're crafting this global, almost poetic identity around a very practical tool. It's a really interesting approach.
And what's really fascinating is when you put that creative branding right next to their technical news updates. It's a total contrast. The updates are super direct, very functional. Renovated its look, newer version. And this is a big one. They now support extracting audio from video files up to 5 gigabytes. That is a serious technical upgrade. It shows they're focused on both the vibe and the engine.
If you really want to get a sense of their ambition, their Academy section says it all. Check out these article titles. One talks about a strategic roadmap to unite all industries. The other is a direct shot at a competitor, TurboScribe, framing the competition as a battle for the media metaverse. Yeah, these guys are definitely not thinking small.
They've also got this live platform activity dashboard, which is pretty wild. Now, okay, as you can see, the charts are still loading, but honestly, that's not even the point. The fact that this dashboard exists at all tells you so much. It signals that they're all about data, and that they're probably tracking things like users, payments, and token usage in real time.
So, what does this all add up to? What's the real takeaway here? What does a platform like this tell us about where content creation is actually going? At the end of the day, the promise of these all-in-one platforms is simple. It's about giving creators back their most valuable resource, the one thing none of us can ever get more of, and that's time. By destroying those media silos, they make it faster to create, easier to repurpose content, and possible to reach more people.
And so that leaves us with one final big question to think about. When the barriers between making a video, writing an article, or recording a podcast basically vanish, what does that do to the very nature of creativity? When any idea can instantly become any format, what kinds of new art, what kinds of new expression get unlocked? It's definitely something to chew on.